Once upon a time, a monstrous crocodile snatched a child from the bank of a river and dragged him into its lair. The desperate parents ran after them, but they were too late. The crocodile had already disappeared with their child under its murky waters. The crocodile emerged from the water carrying the young boy in its mouth. It swaggered toward the parents who were kneeling and pleading for their child's life. "I will return your child," said the crocodile, "but you must first guess what I will do next. And if you guess correctly, I will return him unharmed." What could possibly be so hard about that? Thought the parents. Of course I know what this creature will do next. There's only one answer. They looked at each other and said, "You will return our child." "Oh, no, no, no," said the crocodile. "That's not what I'll do next. That's not what I'll do next." So the crocodile kept the child, and the parents went home without their kiddo. This isn't the best way to start a Saturday morning. But let me tell you, there was a twist to this tale because the parents came back the next day and the crocodile told them, "All right, you get another chance. Guess what I will do next." Now, of course, the parents didn't want to play this guessing game, but they weren't really given a choice. They pondered. "We know that you won't return our child, but how can we phrase it so that you can't trick us this time?" They looked at each other again and said, "You will not return my child." "Brilliant," exclaimed the crocodile. "Correct once more. I shall honor my word and return your child." Then the crocodile opened its mouth and swallowed the boy whole. How on earth did the parents lose both times? What's going on here? We just got tricked by the same logic twice. This is called the Crocodile Paradox. But how does this work? Let's break down the puzzle piece by piece. When the parents said, "You will return my child," they set up two possible scenarios in the crocodile's mind. Scenario number one, if the crocodile was planning to return the child, then their guess is correct and the crocodile would be forced to actually return the child. But if the crocodile wasn't going to return the child, then their guess would be wrong, meaning the crocodile could happily munch on their kiddo. The crocodile knew this, which is why it refused to comply with their request. The second time around, the parents changed their approach, setting up a different pair of scenarios. This time they said, "You will not return my child." If the crocodile wasn't going to return the child, then their guess would be correct, and the crocodile would be forced to return the child. And if the crocodile was going to return the child, then their guess would be wrong, meaning the crocodile would not be obligated to return him. Again, the crocodile knew this, which is why it ate the boy. So the parents lost both times, right? Well, not exactly. After all, the crocodile broke the rules of the first scenario by eating the child despite the parents' correct guess. So technically the parents won the first round, right? Wrong. See, the problem is that the truth of each scenario depends on the crocodile's intent, something he can't reveal without breaking the rules of the game. To understand why this is a paradox, let's go a little deeper. There are lots of layers to this story, but for now, let's focus on three concepts: promises, truth, and trust. When someone makes you a promise, you expect them to fulfill it. But what if someone made a promise that couldn't possibly be fulfilled? Could it still be considered a promise? For example, imagine someone says, "Tomorrow I will tell you the truth about the universe and everything in it." Even if they're the smartest person in the world, they can't possibly do that. So was it really a promise? Well, the parents believed the crocodile's promise, but it seems like the only way for the crocodile to keep that promise would be to break the rules of the game. That raises some questions. Is it even possible for the crocodile to tell the truth? Is the truth even important when it comes to fulfilling promises? And how much trust should we put into those who make them? These questions may seem simple, but they reflect some deep philosophical ideas. On a side note, there's also the possibility that the crocodile just doesn't care about the truth or promises. It could be a sociopath. In fact, many large institutions such as courts, banks, and governments rely on people believing that those in charge are telling the truth. What happens when those institutions are run by sociopaths? We'll leave that question for another time. On a lighter note, the crocodile paradox is a great metaphor for any system that tries to manipulate you with logic or rules. Let's call this system the crocodile. The crocodile uses gaslighting to control the situation. Gaslighting is when someone manipulates you by distorting reality, making you question what is true. The crocodile twists the rules to design a trap then waits for you to walk right into it. For example, imagine a job interview where the hiring manager says, if you ask for a raise in the first month, you get fired. You don't ask for a raise in the first month, you get fired. So you better ask for a raise in the first month. You don't ask for a raise in the first month, you get fired. Now, no matter what you say, you're gonna get fired. This is an example of double bind, which is part of the art of manipulation. But sometimes the game is designed so that you can't win no matter what you say. Sometimes the goal is to entrap you without offering a reward. Other times the goal is to confuse you so that you lose track of what's real. The crocodile tears you down with false accusations and lies until you doubt yourself. But remember, the first step to defeating the crocodile is realizing that it's there. Once you see it, you have the power to choose how you respond. You can decide not to play the game at all, and sometimes that's the smartest thing to do. This may sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. By refusing to participate in a flawed system, you take away its power over you. Most people aren't aware that they're playing the game, let alone how to win. And that's why most people lose. So who needs to know the secrets of the Crocodile Paradox? Anyone dealing with a manipulative narcissist, anyone who wants to resist a corrupt institution, anyone fighting for freedom against tyranny. The list goes on. Think of the crocodile as an unjust law or an oppressive government. In that case, the parents are the people under the thumb of a powerful regime. The promise is a declaration of rights or a supposed protection of freedoms. But the crocodile doesn't care about the truth of these claims. All that matters is that you follow the rules of the game. And if you don't, the crocodile swallows you whole. In a world where the pursuit of power has surpassed the boundaries of morality and ethics, it's crucial to recognize the presence of such crocodiles. It's easy to assume that logic and reason will always prevail, but that's not the case. When unchecked, authority often corrupts, twisting logic to serve its own self-serving ends. Sometimes the smartest move isn't to try and outsmart the crocodile, but to walk away from the game altogether. To truly master the crocodile paradox, we must be willing to disconnect from corrupted systems, no matter how tempting it might be to try and fix them. Because ultimately, it's not about winning a game, it's about preserving our autonomy and integrity in a world that's constantly testing our limits. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay curious.